Hello everyone and welcome to class. Today we're going to speak about how to win at the Diamond Casino and Resort in Grand Theft Auto Online. Alright guys, today I'm going to cover a bunch of things about the different games and what you should and shouldn't be playing. Now, I've got a little bit of casino background in real life and I've basically been able to apply it here. So let's go over the games. As you can see in front of me, right off the bat, as you walk in here, you're going to see the wheel. The wheel is a game that you can play consistently. It is one you do every day, so it doesn't really it's not a consistent money earner. So we're going to skip that. Most things about the wheel are pretty straightforward. But what we got is slot machines. Slot machines are the bread and butter of any casino. Every slot machine you see here is the worst you can play. It is the biggest negative expectation in any casino, and the reason being is because it is a steady loss. If you look, we can look at the rules, and it'll tell you all about the information, the model multipliers, and the minimum, the maximum chips. And each slot machine is different. You will find that some machines will let you bet higher amounts. You'll also find that the percentage payout is different as well. Now I know I've seen it before and it's not showing me here, so we're going to back out. But the percentage that I saw was that it pays out about 98.7% on the best machines. And in a real life casino, that'd be really good. However, it still means that that's just, you're getting, if you put in $100, you're only getting $98.70 back on average. This is exactly what the casinos would always want you to come in and play. This is number 5 on a list of the games. This is the lowest one you'd want to do. Do not play slots in this game. I understand there's an appeal of betting the maximum and getting the top prize, which is, this one says 500,000. Like, I know that if you do max bet, you can get a couple million, but you have to hit that, and it's a very low percentage chance of doing that. So let's go ahead and move on to the regular other games. The table games is where we're going to head to next. As I walk over here past the VIP area, there's nothing worthwhile in there. That's just a sink for your money if you really want it. Alright guys, and again, as you see, more slots. As in any casino, they want to try and get you on every little bit that they can. Alright, so here's our table games. We have a lot of different table games. We have 3-card poker, we have roulette, and we have blackjack. Now, I'm going to go first to 3-card poker. 3-card poker is a rather simple game. Your objective is to have the best 3 cards versus the dealer. There are a couple options on what you can bet here. You can place an anti-bet, which is what you'll need to play if you're going to actually play versus the dealer. There's a pair plus bet. The pair plus specifically pays exactly what you see on the table there, which it pays 1-to-1 on a pair, the flush pays 4-to-1, a straight pays 6-to-1, 3 of a kind pays 30-to-1, and straight flush pays 40-to-1. The pair plus bet is a sucker's bet. Betting that doesn't help you at all. It is a very negative expectation. The casino expects that you'll play that because it's an additional bet, and you might as well put it up, it thinks, but no, do not play the pairs plus. The first thing it's going to ask you for is ante. I'm just going to bet low to show everything here. Place your ante bet, and you're going to decline the pair plus, and then the dealer's going to deal out 3 cards. You're going to get 3 cards. The best part of this is that you have a decision to make. The hands that you're going to look for are anything with a queen and another face card. Anything low is pretty bad. So even though this looks good, we've got a face card, a 10, and a 7, the dealer has to qualify with a hand of queen or better. So even if you play, you're only getting back tops 5,000. Or 5,000. I'm used to playing the 5,000 mark. So the tops you're getting back would be 10. So I'm actually going to fold this hand. It's not worth my time to play it. It's better for me to lose the bet. Looking at the dealer's cards, he easily would have beaten me because he has to have that to qualify. So it's having the ability to make the decision is very worthwhile. Plus, you do get a bonus if you play and get a straight, a three of a kind, or a straight flush. All of those are bonuses that you can get. So I would say personally, three card poker is probably my fourth on the list. For the simple fact that even though you have decisions, it is definitely designed to take your money, and it's a little easy to put money into the Pairs Plus when you really shouldn't be putting it there. So I do not suggest playing three-card poker, but played with proper strategy, you can still make some money. Most people know about the exit and come back glitch, which if you have chips and you exit out right after making a couple bets, if they don't go the way you want, then you're going to be able to get all your chips back after you reload the game. I'm not going to show that here, but it is very, very simple. You do exactly what I said, and you can usually get about 2 bets in before it decides to save the game on you, or at least log your progress. So next I will be going to Roulette. Roulette is the easiest way to have a random number generator that is very easy to follow. So on the table, I'm going to point out a couple things as it brings up the board here. Okay, guys, so we have numbers that are red and black all through the table here, up to 36. We also have these zeros up here. They are important. Those are like dead numbers because they don't actually affect, they aren't affected by the first 12, the second 12, the third 12. Red, black, evens or odds, 1 to 18 or 19 to 36. They aren't affected by the 2 to 1s down here either. That's very important to note. So when placing bets here, anything that's red, for instance, would be an even bet. Evens at 1 to 18s, all those are even bets. When you look at the first 12, the second 12, the third 12, then you're going to be able to do a 2 to 1 payout on those. Same thing as the 2 to 1s down at the bottom of the table on the right hand side there, I should say. Zeros pay a lot like the regular numbers, so consider that. So basically the person spins the wheel. We're gonna hit a couple small pieces. So we put in 30, we got 20 back. Like it's this is the easiest way for you to double money, because you can max bet up to 5,000 on the regular tables. I'm saying regular because that is going to come into play later. You can max bet up to 5,000 on an even or odd type deal, like this or that. But the zeros are not affected by thises and that's. So consider that whenever you're doing betting on this. Okay? So let's go ahead and throw 5,000 on the red and hope for the best. So basically I'm saying that it's going to hit about 48% of the time. So it's the closest thing you can get to 50% of your bets. That's good to note whenever you're trying to do betting, and you can consider glitches and such of like exiting out and coming back in. So we're going to hope for our red, and we got red. Awesome. So I won 1,000. I thought I max bet.
One more?
Huh. Oh, apparently I put down 500. That's right. On Roulette, your max bet is actually 500, and then you have to place it multiple times. All right, so I bet 500. Oh, well. Okay, we accidentally bet 500 instead. Roulette's very simple, easy to play, and I rank it as third on our list of games that you'll want to be playing. Next up will be Blackjack. There's a lot of decisions that you can make in Blackjack that are going to be worthwhile to make. This is why early on, this is probably the second best game that you want to be playing. Now, you can vary your bets, but unfortunately they use a 4-card shoe, and your objective is to get to 21, or basically your objective is to have the dealer not beat your hand. I will take a hit on a 17. That'll. All right, and that doesn't really change too much. That's an 18. Dealer is showing a 10. I mean, this is like, I'm not going to go over strategy too much, but in all honesty, you can find strategies online. Dealer is showing 20. I lose. That's fine. So you can find strategies online. Proper strategy playing this game in here will get you a decent amount of chips, but understand that playing a 4-card shoe and reshuffling it every time, because they don't have to actually physically shuffle it in front of you, this will be a negative expectation in the long run, even with that. So do consider that whenever you are playing this, but remember the fact that you don't actually have to that's crazy. You don't actually have to ooh, I can hit. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be able to hit, oh, if I hit 7 cards. How did I bust? Okay. So, if you hit, I think it's 7 cards and don't bust, then you automatically win. But if you do hit a blackjack, which is simply an ace and a face card or a 10, then you do get paid 3-1 on your bet. So that's a little bonus. But your decisions based on what the dealer has and what you have can be the deciding factor in whether you win at blackjack. And the game is pretty much straightforward. There's not the ability to get a little bit of an edge on the house other than seeing if there's a lot of low cards out. Your high cards are going to come out most likely. This is the second best game in the casino. So let's walk away from this one. And we're going to go over, it's a little bit of a walk, but we're going to head to the top game. Now I'm going to pass through, I'm going to pass by the high limit area. This is important. We're going to come back to there later, and I'll show you why. Alright guys, so we're going to, oops, nope. See, the slots, they try and get you. We're going to go over here. This is called the inside track. The inside track is horse racing. It is the #1 game that you can play when you're playing at low limits. Okay? When you don't have a pass into the high limit area, horse racing is your best bet. So I'm going to show you some stuff here, and it's very simple. You might have heard this before. Alright, first off, don't bother playing the main race unless there's a decent horse to play, and I'll say which one is decent here in a moment. So there's going to be two horses in each class. There's going to be 2 of the forerunners, the best horses. So I'm going to use this to show it here. So we've got Getting Haughty. This is just the one that's here. This one's a 3-1. Pretty as a Pistol is 4-1. These are the best 2 horses to bet on. So that's what we want to look for. We want to look for what the best 2 horses are and bet on the one that has the best odds. So this 3-1 means that the odds of him winning, technically based on the odds, should be about 25% of the time he's going to win. Based on the way that paying out works, the 3-1 is actually wrong. The actual odds of it winning are probably around like 22%, something like that. So we have to factor that in. It's a little bit less worthwhile, but the thing is, it's still the best horse to bet on. And the difference between this and a regular horse race where they do handicapping and they actually choose the different odds for the horses, they're doing that based on the horse's past performance. These odds are all just random number generated. So you basically are looking at what the random number generation is, and you're saying this one is, by the number generations, gonna win 22% of the time, and that is the best odds for the entire 6 horses that are on the board. So you would always want to play the horse that's got the biggest chance of winning. Obviously, there are horses that have better amounts they'll pay out, but their chance of winning is low. And whenever you're trying to continue to play as long as possible, because restarting your game takes too long, it's better to just play the best horses. If you are doing the horse racing and quitting out and coming back if you actually are losing, I would strongly suggest keeping your chip amount at about 20,000, because 20,000 is the number. Because you can max bet 10,000. So I'm gonna be betting Getting Haughty with the 10,000 bet here in just a moment. So they also are there's 2 middle runners, which are our 9-1 and our 8-1 right here, Microaggression and Friendly Fire. And then there's the big guys, the ones that are paying out highest because they're the lowest odds. The 16 to 1 and the 20 to 1. The 20 to 1 is, what is that like? It's less than 5%. It's pretty low. And I think it is. Yeah, it's going to be like about like 4% tops. It's really, really crazy to see one of these win, and it doesn't happen often. It does happen, but it's just like anything else. It's like if you were spinning a wheel that has different pie pieces on it, and some pieces are bigger than others. Like Getting Haughty and Pretty as a Pistol, their pie pieces are pretty large compared to the rest of them. And there's little tiny spots where Durban Poison and Banana Hammock are actually sitting, and so it's not going to happen that often that those show up. So let's make our bet. You obviously see here, you can pump it up to 10 grand. That's the max bet, and if I win, I get 40,000, which doesn't sound too bad, now does it? Because 40,000 is still an okay payout. Making 30 grand, like a plus of 30 grand in a short amount of time, is pretty good. So we're gonna watch these guys run real quick. This race goes faster than the main race does. That's why I said don't play that one unless there's a course with good odds. With good odds, there are ones that say evens. I don't want you to play evens in the main race because it's too long and you're only getting a 10,000 payout. You can play it in this because 10,000 is still 10,000, but you're waiting too long in the others. So the 20 to 1 hit here, but it's so very rare that that can even happen. So, and you basically can just bet again. But yeah, bet the best horses. If you lose your 20,000 in chips, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and exit out real quick of your application, jump back in, go back to the casino, and if you already have it set to load in the casino, that's perfect. And you can go ahead and go right back to the horses with your 20,000 chips you didn't actually lose. But what my suggestion is, if you win, if you're up over 20,000 in chips, and your total amount is 40,000 or higher, just walk right over here to the cashier, speak to them, trade in chips, and you trade in everything down to 20,000 in chips. And what's going to happen is when you do that, it banks it into your personal cash, into your total amount, and it just keeps accruing. Every time you do that, it saves it. And that's important, because then you can just walk straight back over here, right back to the inside track, and do the same thing. Again, I wouldn't suggest doing this in real life horse racing, because the thing is that even though a horse might be even or have just 2 to 1 odds and be the best horse on the listed on the thing, it's not randomly generated. It's actually horses running, and that doesn't work. Like that doesn't give you a consistent chance of winning. You know, right now this race, there's an evens at number 1 in the number 1 horse. He's likely going to win. Obviously, other horses could win. They still have that piece on the pie, but it's very often that you'll see a horse start dashing like the 1 is doing right now, head all the way up to the front, and because they are the evens, they were picked from the beginning to win this race. Well, the 4 is going to win, but he had a 4 to 1 chance. That's literally just about 18-19% chance to win, versus the 45% chance. It's not actually that far off. It had a pretty decent chance of winning too when you spin that pie. Now, oh, I'm going the wrong way. As I said, we have back this way, we have the high limit room. Now, this is where you're going to be able to go once you purchase your penthouse, which does cost 1.5 million, and it's important to know that you can make that money playing the horses. Once you make that money playing the horses, you're probably never going to play horses again. The high limit room is in this circle right here, right next to the management area. Now, here we've got blackjack, we've got 2 tables of roulette, and we've got 3-card poker. Notice, though, the 3-card poker table is filled with fake players. It's not always the case. Sometimes the 3-card poker table's open, and the blackjack table's filled. So, again, do you remember our order? Our original order? Well, slots are worse. There's no high-limit slots in here, guys. None. Not a single high-limit slot. My guy's even looking around. He doesn't see anything. You know, they get a waitress in here, but there's no slots. So we can just exclude 5. The casino itself is already saying those are not something you should be playing. We're not even going to put them in here. So, continuing on, our least favorite is 3-card poker. Because that's the number 4 slot. And, well, we don't have to worry about it because those guys are playing it. So then we're left with our third and fourth slot, or our second and third slot, which is Roulette and Blackjack. Now, my personal favorite is we're going to play Blackjack, because obviously I did put it in the 2 slot. There's no high-limit horse racing in here, guys, so you can just exclude that too. So we have to go with the 2 that work. Now, if the Blackjack table is filled, I would strongly suggest heading over and playing Roulette, because, again, it gives you the possibility of having a 50% chance of winning, roughly. Also, if you're not really good with the strategies of Blackjack, you might want to just go ahead and play Roulette anyway. The max bet is 50,000 chips. So let's sit down and let's play some 50,000 chip Blackjack.
Let's get those bets in. And no more bets. Good
Oh,
luck.
that 4 is going to be rough. An ace helps. And the dealer gets an ace. And they get a Blackjack right on me. How perfect. But this is still where you're going to make the most in chips, guys. Alright?
Bets, please.
I'd love to show you that you win every time, but it's not that case. But we already know our exit out plan.
Ooh, lucky 13.
13, huh? I've got a 13. The dealer is showing a 5. You have to almost always assume the dealer has a 10 underneath. But they could have anything. Now, the dealer has to hit on certain things. They have to hit based on the rules.
It's your turn.
And they have to hit at least soft 17 or go bust. So soft 17 means that it includes an ace. All right? So I would normally say stand on this, odd as it can be. Dealer is showing 10, 14, smashes at, and goes bust. So the whole idea is to try and get the dealer to not be your hand, but that doesn't always mean that you have to achieve the maximum. Like, you don't have to get a high hand, but it can help. If the dealer's showing a high card, you still assume the high card is underneath for them too. 20 is good for me.
Care for another card?
So we'll stand because we could double down and split them. We could double down. We could split them. We could split 10s, but I don't suggest it really. So I'm going to stand. Point being is that when you are profited over an amount of 100,000 based on your starting chips, which I recommend about 150,000, so you can always double down. Then at that point, we're going to make this little walk.
Winner leaving the table, folks.
So get used to this walk right here. You're going to walk right around the back corners here. This is the quickest way to the cashier. Right past that high limit lounge area, the VIP area, right through these trap slots, right past the wheel, heading right for that cashier to tell her that we're ready to get $100,000 into our bank account. That $1,286,000 that you see right there, I started the day at $6,515 into my bank account. And today, in about an hour, I made $1,280,000. So there you go, guys. That's how you do it. So like I said, in the order you should go, slots, the absolute worst, don't even touch them. Next thing would be 3-card poker. It's alright, but still, you're going to be folding a lot more than you probably want to. Next up, roulette. Next up is blackjack, and then head on over to the horses if you're starting off. Starting off, it's not that hard to get 20,000 in chips. 20,000 in chips bought me a lot of things in this game. Alright guys, well I gotta go see the management. They have some problems in this casino. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for the channel. Check me out on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, class dismissed.